our high school, when we marched in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, we did like the most stereotypical Texas take, deep in the heart of Texas.
I was going to say, that's the only option.
Yeah,
what instrument
really.
did you play, Meg? Because I was a hardcore band geek for most of my high school years and middle school years.
Oh, I am a pretender to the throne. I was in flag corps.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
I have no musical talent.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I tossed
Sarah,
rifles.
What instrument did you play, Sarah? And wow, Meg, I'd love to see you toss rifles. That would be fucking hysterical.
That's cool.
Like, what an off-brand thing for you to do.
Yeah.
Oh, being on color guard is like potentially the gayest thing I could have done while still masquerading as a straight person.
3 women talking about politics?
If democracy had a group chat, this would be it. Welcome to Organizing Chaos with Roots to Results, where we unpack the chaos that is politics in 2026 and give you the tools you need to do something about it. I'm Meg Simons, Creative Director with Roots to Results, and I'm here with my amazing organizers, co-hosts, and founders of Roots to Results, Laura Miranda Brown.
Hey.
And Sarah Virgo. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life, or at least a new year for all of us. And I'm actually feeling pretty good. Laura, Sarah, how does it feel to be back for season 2?
It feels insane, actually. Well, let me say this. My children are out of my house. They're back in school.
Yes.
If you could have seen me, I almost, like, I drive a minivan. I have 3 small children. I, like, pulled up, minivan door flies open. I was like, get out of the car. I love you so much. Have a great day. Goodbye. Their joy of going into the school was only exceeded by my joy of coming home to silence. I've had people in my house since December 20th. I'm really excited to see you guys. I drank 2 cups of coffee and had 2 breakfast chocolate chip cookies, so I am ready to go.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm happy to be back doing this. I've, like, throughout the Christmas break, you always have, like, the lead up to Christmas, which is so exciting. And then afterwards, I'm always, like, very sad that Christmas is over. And then, like, I don't know what day it is. I don't know what's going on. I'm full of carbs. I'm confused. I don't know what to do in the morning because, like, there's nothing happening or there's everything happening. So I'm excited to, one, have the time to be back with both of you, but I think also to be back for season 2. It's really exciting. Like, we started this as an idea and we've, like, I think grown so much in just a couple of months. So to have so much to talk about and to be back for season 2, it's very exciting. And I welcome the break from kids being at home. So good to be here.
Yeah, I have felt like a tea kettle just like slowly coming to a boil and like starting to like steam and make noise all holiday break. My family is lovely. They don't love talking about politics. So I'm very excited to come back and talk about political bullshit with the 2 of you. Speaking of political bullshit.
Yes.
2026 is going to be a hell of a year. Congress still hasn't decided on a budget, so we're going to have to fight about that again.
Mm-hmm.
We have midterms coming up, which could shift the balance of power in the House and the Senate.
Will shift the balance of power.
Yeah.
Will shift the balance of power. This episode is about manifesting. You are correct. So I know we ended last season with a little bit of retrospection. Shout out to all of our 2026 GTFO winners. But I want to do something different to kick off this year. Something a little bit witchier, a little bit more in my lane. I want us to grab our crystals, our tarot cards, our chicken bones, and let's forecast 2026. Let's look ahead and do some manifesting. I want to know how we want to see our communities, our local electeds, even Congress, show up and show out in 2026? Sarah, let's start with you. Give me one thing you want to see in 2026.
I'd love to see more strategy in 2026. So long-term thinking. I think we Democrats focus on these like this year, these are the elections we have to focus on. And we're never thinking about the 5-year plan or the 10-year plan or the 50-year plan. We're not thinking about all of those like down ballot opportunities. And then I think at some point people are kind of looking around because there have been school board elections and city councils and, election commissioners and city clerks and things that there are real opportunities for a power grab. And these are where decisions are making, the decisions that are being made about schools, about reproductive access, about just rights in general. And, especially with the courts, like, right, Meg, not to steal your thunder there, but like, we're not really looking at those down ballot opportunities the way that Republicans historically have. And I think that's what I would love to see in 2026, just real long-term thinking and really, a heavy focus on strategy for the next several cycles.
I mean, this is what we've seen from the far right when it comes to the courts over the last several decades, right? You can trace the fall of Roe back to some of the fallout from the Brown v. Board of Education decision.
Right. It's a long-term plan. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now it led to the Supreme Court that we have today, which is full of like sexual predators and
It's
people who will let Trump do whatever he wants.
Right. There are lots of people that are playing the long game, and I'm grateful for that, ourselves included. But I think this is kind of a nod to people who have been somewhat involved and would like to be more involved and just need that push. But also it's the state committees, it's the state organizations, the Democrats within the different states. I would love to see more of that energy, that long-term strategy from those kinds of groups across the country who, maybe it is Alabama and it's a hard area to win, but that strategy, that strategic thinking about how we can win, not just today, but we can take back some of the branches within each area and be more successful in 20 to 40 years.
I love this. More strategy in 2026. Laura, what are you manifesting for 2026?
I love the idea of manifesting strategy, obviously. So thanks, Sarah, for that one. It feels like something that is definitely percolating in the world, and so I want to make sure that actually happens by continuing to manifest it. But what I really want to see this year, more than anything else, is I am manifesting honesty. I'm not talking about the like tech bro bullshit radical candor thing, right? You can tell someone the truth without being mean and hurting their feelings. That's what I'm talking about. But I'm also talking about candidates and politicians talking about the realities of what they want to do. This big thing that we collectively want to do will never happen in 2 years' time. But it will actually never happen if you don't elect people who believe in this thing, right? Part of accomplishing big goals, to Sarah's strategy point, is you've got to plot out the plan from getting from A to Z. You don't get there without intermediate steps along the way. And we as a society have become very bad at giving the voting public the honest truth. And I think that politicians are very hesitant to say, I can't accomplish this in one term, because they feel like they will get negative blowback and they won't get elected. And I don't think that's true. I think the American people are desperate for honesty, especially in a world run by Donald Trump, where we are not only getting half-truths, we're getting straight-up lies. Just lies all the time. And people are tired of being lied to, and people will probably, I think most Americans will give grace to honest politicians. But there are a lot of adults who are of voting age who have no lived memory of a time where people didn't outright lie. Now, I'm not saying like Bush Cheney didn't lie. I'm not saying Clinton didn't lie. Everybody tells half-truths. There's something very different about that from the malicious gaslighting that we are experiencing right now from the Trump MAGA side of the world. And I really want that gone. So I'm going to manifest honesty because it's what we need. And it is probably the only way we're going to get out of this quagmire.
For a long time, communications professionals have prepped candidates, and I have even talked about it in trainings and stuff about like how to pivot, right? Insert the friends pivot.
Answer the question you want to answer, and not the question that was asked.
Yeah, but I feel like somehow that has become like, don't answer the question that you were asked, say whatever crazy shit you want to, and like that is not what pivoting is.
It's like debate versus town hall. In a debate, yes, you want to have those like one-liners and those gotcha kind of moments. You still want to be honest and have those exchanges, but you need that kind of training for that kind of specific space. But then in town halls, that's where that honesty is really especially warranted, where I've noticed this trend, Meg, to your point, of like not really answering any questions, and Laura, to your point, not really being honest about what is possible. And I always appreciate that when I see a candidate who is just saying, this is what I'd like to do, and this is how I'm planned to do it, and this is why it might not work, and this is why I think it will work. This is what I'm offering you as a candidate. I think people really appreciate that. It's like a very basic of like level of human decency that I have not seen in quite a while.
I think Americans are desperate for information and honesty, and you don't get that in a debate, sadly. You just get a bunch of morons standing on a dais shouting at each other about bullshit. Okay, Meg, what are you manifesting for us with your chicken bones and your salt and your candles and your sage? What you got over there? It's going to be the courts, but go ahead.
It is about the courts, but it's also broader than the courts. I am manifesting no more empty seats. I am so tired of seeing these local seats that actually have so much say on how we live our daily lives be left empty. Because you know what happens when there's an empty seat that nobody cares about? Instead of somebody who actually wants to like do good and like be part of their community taking that seat, you just get an asshole who wants power. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying everyone who ran for a seat unopposed just did it because they wanted power, but I'm saying it's a lot harder to spot people who are only in it for the power when nobody's running against them. And they don't have to answer any questions. And they don't have to, like, tell us why they want to be in this seat. I mean, look at Louisiana just last year. There was an entire Supreme Court election that was canceled because nobody was running against the Supreme Court judge. That's the final court in Louisiana who will get to have like a real say, especially as the Trump administration is kicking things like LGBTQ rights, like reproductive rights, back to the states. Mm-hmm. So I want people to run. Primary the shit out of everyone. If you are someone who wants to be helpful in your community, who thinks they could be better than, as we said in the last episode, the chucklefucks who are currently in office, mm-hmm. but you're like, I'm not a great public speaker, or like, I'm not the perfect candidate. Run anyway. Run anyway. Right. Because even if you lose, you might help shift the Overton window, mm-hmm. right? And help shift the conversation. So stop letting the perfect be the enemy of the good. No more empty seats. And support good people who are running. That's what I'm manifesting.
That's a lot of manifesting. I like all of it. Democracy is, in my opinion, like public transportation, right? You gotta get on the bus going in the direction you want to go. It's probably not going to pick you up in front of your house, and it's probably not going to deliver you directly to your office. But you should probably take the bus that's like a couple blocks from your house that takes you 20 blocks closer to your office than the bus that picks you up close to your house and drops you 5 states away. Democracy is a group project. It requires all of us to participate. It also requires us all to share services like a bus, right? We need to do the group project together, and we need to determine which direction we want to head in. We have one overarching goal, which is to remove power from Donald Trump. We have very few ways of doing that, and one of the best ways we can do that is to flip the House, and flip a couple seats in the Senate, which is much harder to do, but not impossible. And the other way we can do that is to gain control at the state level of your governorships, of your state senators, of your state assembly, because the last line of defense for your day-to-day lived experience is going to be your state laws. When there are no laws at the federal level, you default to your state level. So you all probably know this because everybody who's listening to the podcast is incredibly smart, but feel free to share this with your friends who may be somewhat confused about why it feels like Congress can't do anything. It feels like they can't do anything because it's a numbers game. So we have to show up and we have to get people elected.
Running for an office and investing that time and energy, whether you're a state committee or a county division or just as an individual, it is taxing and it's a heavy lift, especially if you know that it likely won't result in a win. But what you are doing is you're building a pipeline of Democrats that have not been motivated before because there have never really been Democratic options. And that pipeline that will now start to come together and become organized assembles a mass of people that will show up to vote for governor. They might not have voted in this county commissioner or the state assembly person, but they will show up to vote for a governor or a senator or any of the other larger offices because now they have a reason to. And you don't have to wait on someone to do it for you. If you have a group of people who are concerned in a particular area, congratulations, you are now the Democratic committee that can work with other officials in that area to say, okay, we have someone to run for this seat. Who's going to run in 2 years when that seat's available? What do we need to do? Do we have to get them connected to other organizations? Do we have to get them connected to donors? What do we have to do to build their brand up ahead of that next race? And then we can look ahead for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. And so one day, an area that was very red is now kind of purple or maybe blue.
Primary the shit out of everyone. We mean that very, very sincerely. And over the break, we actually decided at Roots to Results to create the primary the shit out of everyone package. One of the hardest things about starting out is you wonder, like, well, how do I even make a website? How do I have a logo? What colors do I pick? Like, it feels very overwhelming. We really, really, really want people to run. We want people to run for local office. We want people to run for, school board and city council. We have very, very reasonable pricing to get this done. Go to our website, go to our socials, find this, fill this out, and let us help you because we really, really, really want you to primary the shit out of everyone.
That is it for this episode of Organizing Chaos. Go outside, touch grass, primary the shit out of everybody, and remember, the group chat is only part of the movement. See you next time. Bye!